It's going to happen, whether you like it or not.
All right, guys. Dr. Cordy Williams, hashtag Megaphone Marine, hashtag 1776 Forever Free. I think that's the first time I've ever timed it perfectly. When the credits came down, I wasn't talking with the credits on the screen, so I'm proud of myself. But at any rate, this is an epic, epic night, not only because we got the good-looking and lovely Kevin Kiley on, who's been fighting for our freedoms forever. Sorry, Mike. You're just wearing, he's got a suit on. You just got the shirt. I don't know. I'm wearing a tie. Yeah, whatever. But at any rate, so much to talk about. You guys have probably heard the news. Gruesome Newsom, also known as Crest White Strips, is heading back to the homeless encampments in San Francisco. And it's because of the hard work of this entire state and the leadership of these beautiful people on this panel, like Mike Netter, Susan Hurd, Orrin Heatley, the Godfather, and however many people on the gallery view that I can't see, Dan, Tim, and thousands of others. But I'm going to shut up now. Mike's like, thank God. And I'm going to turn it over to Orrin.
Thank you so much, Cordy. God bless everybody. I am so glad to be here tonight on this eve of the special election. It is statistically impossible for them to reject or rescind enough signatures for this not to qualify. So we are moving forward. We are plotting a course and we're going, ahead. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, as it always has, folks. There is a lot happening behind the curtain. There's people that are fighting for your freedoms, fighting for what we hold near and dear to our hearts here in California. I will be at the Capitol on Monday, the 3rd, and I'll be there with Shannon Heil and Andrea Hedstrom. And we are going to be talking out for our First Amendment rights at the Capitol. People are welcome to join us. The more the merrier. I'd love to have as many people there as possible. This is a vaccine bill, but I'm not speaking towards the vaccine bill. I'm speaking towards people's right to distribute information and their right to gather and assemble in a public place. And it has nothing to do with vaccines. As a matter of fact, my kids are all vaccinated. My brothers, my father, my sister, my mother, they're all vaccinated. They've gotten both their shots. So where this anti-vaccine thing comes in is, beyond me. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm speaking out for people's right to assemble, the right to distribute literature, and the right for I'm pro-choice. I am pro-choice. I think that people should be educated on the information that they need to make a qualified decision on how they go about getting vaccinated, whether they choose to or not, just as within my own family. So, and God bless. And thank you everybody for joining us tonight. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to you, Cordy.
Yeah, I mean, nobody on this panel is anti-vax. We're just anti-tyranny. We start to get rashes on our arms when we think about, a tyrannical government where people don't have choice. So Netters, you got the floor, beautiful man. How you doing, cutie bear? Good to see you.
I'm doing fantastic. I love the holiday season. I really do. And it's a special holiday season because it's literally verification Eve. If you're keeping track out there, today is the 28th and tomorrow's the 29th, when officially our total is going to grow even bigger. And Kevin, I want to actually give you an official request. Just if they're declaring Election Day an official holiday in the state, I'd like Verification Day to have the day off too. I'm just throwing it out there so you could possibly make a motion on the floor tomorrow. But before I get just a thought, anything for a day off, Kevin. I want to say something really interesting, and I'll give a kudos to Orrin a little bit because I find it really fascinating. I had Tim, who, by the way, a shout out to Tim Holiday, put together the videos for us. And I said, you've got to insert this video that the Sacramento Bee reporter had on there ahead of time. Oren spoke on the floor, and all of you out there that spoke against 663, because theoretically we were deceiving so many people with these recalls, because I know Gavin thinks Californians are such idiots, they have no idea what they're signing. Well, we did elect him. But anyway, what I find fascinating is that literally you heard the reporter say that the petition, which is being circulated, which isn't really a petition, but it's not really even withdrawing their signatures, but it's simply kind of a farce to trick people so they can get their data. That's what's going around in kind of the rescission signature period. So I just find it very fascinating. I'm going to call out Don Parada in a negative sense, that as you kind of call out the crowd, call out yourselves, my friend. Let's have a good, honest, and fair fight, as they say, and let's do something to change the state of California. With that,
Mike, who the hell is Don Parada?
Oh, Don Parada? Is that the right name?
I don't know.
Oh,
Who are
he
you talking
happens
about?
to be, okay, I've already
I have
told
no
the
idea.
story on the air, but I got to tell it again. So the day Oren is fighting 663, our recall gets a letter, a legal letter from a guy named Don Parada. Yes, I had to stop and think too, who is, what do they call? Yes, I get it, Oren.
Just adjusting my glasses,
I
Mike.
understand that. Let me adjust mine too.
Hashtag who is Don Parada?
Okay, Don Parada is the former head of the Senate of the up to 2008. He wrote us a letter.
He's an old white guy.
Yes, I'm being nice. He's a former Senator Emeritus, which means the former head of the Senate for the Democrats. He wrote us a letter saying, all right, you guys, we want to get the names of everybody out there who signed the petition, photocopy and send them to us. But the good news is that we're going to pay at least for the photocopies so you guys don't have to pay for them.
Yeah, but if
And
you
the
don't
bad
give
news is
us,
if you
we're
don't
gonna
do
sue
it-
you for 'em.
Yeah, if we don't do it, we're going to sue you. And you felt like going, oh, and I'm going to get to the punchline. Don Parada, who's a Democratic senator, former Democratic senator, leading this drive to help Gavin Newsom. Are you ready for this? Entitled his movement, Stop the Steal. It's like, dude,
Wow.
where have I heard that term before? It's like, can you at least get an original marketing department? Because I thought Stop the Steal was a bad term a couple months ago, but never mind. Well, apparently, Don, in addition to not having an original marketing slogan. I
What
understand.
is the definition of flattery?
I don't know.
Imitation is
Oh,
the
yeah.
the definition of flattery.
Well,
Oren-
guys, all I know is all the white guys are racist and they're erectionists, that's what the Democrats say.
Insurrectionist. Hey, Cordy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
after 40. Anyway, Oren, but also isn't the fact is that ignorance is no excuse for not knowing the law? Because Don Parada apparently doesn't know
I
the law.
think Don Barada, for him, ignorance is bliss.
Apparently, because Don, you cannot make copies of petitions. And in fact, that very day, Oren is trying to stop something that his fellow party was trying to put on the floor so they can get access to petitions, but Don didn't get the memo. So I just
Government code 6253.5.
thank you. All
Makes
of you
it-
keep it down. There will be a test next week. Anyway, what I'd like to do, Oren and Cordy, if you don't mind, is get to our fabulous guest who's going to declare tomorrow, I understand, a statewide holiday. One of the true friends of the recall, Kevin Kiley. Kevin?
Hello, good to be with you, Mike and Oren and Cordy. I see Randy there. Hey, Randy.
Cracking
Kevin,
up.
Everyone else?
you're a little shaded, but you know, you're backlighted. So
Yeah, okay. It should go away in just a second.
It's the
we can see it.
superhero
We
glare.
can see it.
It's the
God bless.
superhero
Thank you
glare.
for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you very
It
much.
should
Kevin.
disappear in just a couple minutes. I don't have a blind on this window.
Just as long as we know you're not under interrogation or in some kind of witness protection or hiding out because the recall's making, or watching out for your safety, brother.
I'll show you a copy of today's paper with the date on it.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Sure. But really exciting week, or I guess we got the big news. What's today? Was that Was it this week or last week?
It was Monday.
It was Monday. That's right. It was Monday. And I think that for all the folks on the call who were, integral in volunteering to get signatures, I mean, this is really your achievement. The media is not going to give you credit for it. Gavin Newsom's going to attack you for it and call you names and call all of us names. So we're connected to this in any way, because that's the only thing he knows how to do. Certainly a lot easier than trying to defend his own record. But you who made this happen are going to go down in history for leading the greatest citizens movement that we've ever seen. So I certainly will never forget what you've done. And I think that you've really given us a chance now to truly change the trajectory of California in a meaningful way, because over the next several months, we're going to have an election that's going to capture the attention of the state. It's going to capture the attention of the whole country, I think. And people are going to get a real window into the dysfunction and the corruption and the incompetence and the failures of California state government, which is why, you hear some folks say, well, Newsom's going to open the state back up and things are going to get better. So by the time the election rolls around, he's going to be in good shape. I don't believe that to be true. I think that people are not going to, first of all, unsee what they've seen over the course of this last year. The people have been seeing that our state is on the decline for a long time, and now they have a very clear, window into why that is. This last year's really connected the dots like never before. But at the same time, as the next few months proceed and as the profile of the recall grows, we're all going to have an opportunity to continue to make our case. Not only that Gavin Newsom is the worst governor in the country, the worst governor in California history, but that he is bad for the same reasons that our entire state government is bad. That he's failed us during the COVID era for the same reasons our government has been failing us for years, if not decades. And I think that's what makes this such a powerful movement and such an incredible opportunity, is we can truly turn the page on this whole era of corruption and failure. And so I think that is a credit to everyone. And it's also, we should give thanks to Gavin Newsom as well, because I don't think we could ask for a better spokesperson for the failures of California.
Wow, that is the most epic mic drop ever. Thank you for that. And I just noticed we're all having a lot of fun tonight, and I think it's great. I think it's great that people are smiling, and it's a non-facial condom society virtually, and it's just very fun and eclectic and all sorts of stuff. So I'm having a good time. But so I think, Kevin, if you're finished, brother, I'm going to turn it over to the best looking person here.
We're not ready.
Go ahead.
Momentum.
Yeah, Randy's got something and I got something. Kevin's
Well, I know, I'm not
speaking, so
turning
he-
it off. I'm not saying we're shutting down here. I was just going to go to the best looking part of this whole panel, Miss Susan, and then I was going to pass the football.
Well, let's let Randy ask Kevin a question, and then I
Go ahead, Rando.
So
Ask
Kevin, give me the scuttlebutt inside the halls of the state legislature, the state capitol. What are people saying? That's what I want to know. I want
About
to know
you?
the gossip. Yes, I want to know about anybody. What is everybody saying?
Well, first of all, let's start with the fact that Gavin Newsom has never been especially well loved by our legislature, really by anyone. I don't know, did you read the New York Times article on the recall? Where Newsom has always been more inevitable than loved.
Yes.
And, that was the New York Times reporting, right? That's not someone's opinion. And in our legislature, that's true as well. I mean, he actually was not endorsed for governor by the leaders of the legislature. Even though it was pretty clear he was going to win. And his whole first year in office, there was quite a bit of conflict. So, you're not seeing people really step up to defend Newsom personally, because after all, that's an impossible task. Even Joe Biden has not been willing to say anything nice about Newsom. He said he's against the recall. But politicians in Sacramento are terrified of the recall mechanism and what it represents. Because, it is a tool for the people of California to take control back from the politicians that have, corrupted our state and have tried to exclude the people in every way possible. And so I think there is a great sense of disquiet over, what the implications of this recall are.
Kevin, I want to jump in and say something here too that we haven't said yet tonight. That politicians generally are terrified, and I'm very proud that myself, Randy, Oren, Susan, Robin, have all stood up in basically a political environment where people are terrified a bit of their government, which is kind of sad. But I want to compliment you again for you not being terrified, for standing up and filing suit against Gavin Newsom in the midst of his tyrannical role. And I think everybody out there, really a virtual applause for that, because I don't think everybody quite there understands. This is Kevin in the halls of the legislature, in the environment every day, filing lawsuit against literally probably the most powerful governor in the country as we're doing a recall against him. So I really think we'd be remiss at this wonderful and glorious verification eve, as I call it, not to give you a special shout out for that. Also, something else that I think we forget a lot of the time, I've had a few comments this week I'd like to call out and get your opinion on, that Orrin and I were even talking about today, is we need to remember that one of the things way back when, way before the virus, was AB 5. The fact that AB 5 is still out there and Gavin never did anything about it. And Kevin, do you have any opinions or things you want to say on that? Wait. Orrin's giving you a book plug here. It's like,
thanks, Orrin. Chapter 2 is all about AB 5. So AB 5 is the most corrupt law in California history, and it banned independent contracting for tens of thousands, if not millions of people. You know, you have many, many people who, even before the lockdowns, were out of work for no good reason, simply because Gavin Newsom delivered this enormous, political payoff to his union, benefactors. So back in like last January, February, when this was all going into effect, there was this just incredible backlash against AB 5. And then it got even worse when the lockdown started. And by the way, this coalition of people against AB 5, it's kind of like the recall in that it's very diverse. In fact, most of the people in the freelancers against AB 5 group are Democrats. But I actually talk about that in the book as sort of the defining moment of Gavin Newsom's first year, because it just illustrates the corruption that guides his entire approach to governance. Is that the unions got him into office through their spending, and so now he's using his power to reward them. And now that his power has become absolute, seemingly, he's rewarding them in unprecedented ways. And by the way, Mike, we're all missing Joe Biden's thrilling speech here to like 20 people.
Damn it, I gotta go.
I had it on. Thank you for sparing me the rest of the speech. But he mentioned in his speech just now that he wants the PRO Act to get to his desk, which is in many ways a national version of AB 5. So, Gavin Newsom wrote Joe Biden this delusional letter on his inauguration saying California is the roadmap to success for his administration. And I think that sort of raises the stakes of the recall. And you have people being, by the way, failing up. Newsom's Secretary of Labor has joined the Biden administration. Javier Becerra. Of course, both the people behind Biden on the podium tonight are Californians. And so the recall is our chance to say, no, California is not any sort of roadmap. California is a warning to the rest of the nation when you have a corrupt government. And so I think that this is a movement that can change not only California, but can go far beyond our state.
And speaking of corruption, before we flip back to Randy and Susan, I know you've heard of a show called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Hold on. And Orrin and I were thinking of starting a show called Keeping Up with the Corruption. Because I actually discovered something new. I actually discovered something new this week that I did not know from the LA Times, in addition to the sports scores. I'd like to get your opinion on this because I was amazed at what I read. It's one of the few long articles I've had to read twice. I guess they're called behested payments.
Behested payments.
Behested payments. Excuse me. I learn something new every day. Behested payments. And normally governors request to certain charities. It was like 21 million the year before. It's over 19 million in 2019, and it's already 21 million this year. But the fact that Gavin Newsom, speaking of corruption, and I had to read this figure and almost was stunned by it. At behested payments, do I have that right, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
I'll actually explain that a little bit to our audience here. At his king's request, big companies donated, including some of the ones that got no big contracts, over like 266 million to specific charities, including maybe one his wife serves on the board of last year. Do I have that about right? And how is that legal?
Yeah, so this is absolutely right. The figure for Newsom is 262 million in behested payments last year, which is about 50 times the amount of a typical year for Jerry Brown. And a good example of a behested payment is California's new Attorney General, Rob Bonta. There was an expose on him earlier this year, which showed that, you know, for some of his big donors who had already maxed out to his campaign, they'd given the maximum they could to his election, he'd say, oh, okay, well, you can give some more if you want to my wife's charity. And so then all of a sudden, his wife's charity would be receiving $50,000. So you're required to report that because the politicians solicited the donation. And so that's what's happening with these behested payments for Gavin Newsom, is he's going to the likes of Facebook and Google and Blue Shield and saying, you know, I want you to funnel money into this program I've started. A lot of times it involves like public service announcements that feature Newsom himself. And nothing like this has ever been done on this scale. And then to make matters worse, a lot of these companies, these major corporations who he's soliciting these tens of millions of dollars from, they then turn around and get no bid contracts that Newsom is giving them without any process using his so-called emergency powers. Like Blue Shield got the $20 million vaccine contract, Google got this big contract. And so the web of corruption is just, you know, gets even more tangled with every new revelation.
I was just amazed to hear that. So thanks for explaining that, because literally every day keeping up with corruption, you didn't know this, Oren, we're starting a new podcast, is literally getting very, very hard to do. Maybe we should make the recall a charity facetiously, Oren, and they could donate to us. Probably, well, Newsom probably wouldn't ask them to do that, you know? I'm trying to be creative here to help us raise money. Randy.
Yes.
What other questions do you and Cordy have for this fine assembly person as a champion of the people?
Well, I didn't mean to shut you down, Kev. You had more in the tank, brother. That was beautiful.
I'm here to serve.
Go ahead.
No, we're just all blessed, and Kevin, we all love you, and you have been such a positive driving force for everybody here within our group. You know, we have a deep personal affection for you, and it's been a real blessing, and I just can't say thank you enough.
Well, that's very kind of you, Randy. I played a very small part. I mean, this thing was built from the ground up by you and Mike and Oren. I think Dan's on the call, and you know, and now by the thousands of people who have, you know, I mean, the people I've talked to who have worked every weekend for the last 9 months. I've talked to people who've gathered thousands of signatures. I've talked to people who are 18. This is their first political act, is signing the recall. I've talked to new citizens. It's the first time they've done anything in politics. That's something I hear a lot, by the way, which I'm sure you've heard, is that there's so many people who have never been involved in politics before, right? Never worked for a campaign, anything like that. And now we're spending every weekend out there, you know, talking to their fellow citizens, talking to them about bringing fundamental change to the state. You know, that's when that sort of thing happens. That's when you know, that's a real movement. That's something that really has the power to reshuffle the whole stack deck of our corrupt system here. And so I've played a very, very small role. You know, I'm a politician. I'm window dressing on this thing. This is a citizens movement through and through.
Well, what I love is everybody on this panel is just
he wrote a damn
amazing
book.
people. Go ahead. What's that?
He wrote a damn book.
Well, wait. I got to jump in. What's even more fascinating, Kevin, that you wrote a damn book. Oren read a damn book.
Hey,
it's the first time. Look around the background of Oren all the time. Susan has a library. People have books. Oren has a book, and it's yours. I'm just making the point, Oren. You know we love you, brother.
I'm very honored, Oren. I signed it for you, right, at the Nevada County event?
Yeah, we all got
it. You did. Right here.
We do have
right there.
Oren only keeps that book because it has a thank you.
There we go.
In it.
See, everyone can see how bad my handwriting
No, and by the way, folks, I am sitting in my library because I love to read. I love to read.
You are a reader.
And I think that everybody should read everything because knowledge is power, and we are bringing knowledge to the electorate. There are a lot of uninformed people out there that we need to bring the knowledge to, and we're moving forward. So Randy, God bless you, brother. You're on the call. and fill in.
Fill in?
Well, wait,
Well,
we have a serious question.
I don't want to
for Kevin.
steal your thunder, but Mike will.
No, I'm
No,
going to
I-
steal your thunder because I want to get this question answered, Randy. Then it's all yours. People
Okay.
are asking about your legal decision last week and what happened in court.
Oh gosh. So yeah, our victory over Newsom in the Superior Court was last November. Newsom rushed to the Court of Appeals and to his favored forum, the Third District Court of Appeals, got them to press pause until they could, consider the case in full. So we sort of frantically wrote these briefs last December to make sure, because they gave us these really strict deadlines. Then they just sat on it for several months. They finally summoned us for oral argument last Tuesday. And if you've ever watched a oral argument for a Court of Appeals, it's very short. Like James Gallagher and I had 15 minutes between the two of us, and the justices are constantly interrupting you. You'll get one sentence in, and then they'll just like blurt something out, asking you about something totally unrelated to what you're saying. And so then when you're doing it on Zoom, like we were required to do, even though they have this nice spacious courtroom available for like a few of us to be in, we're doing it on Zoom. It's even choppier. So it was not ideal, but it's done. The oral argument's done, and we're expecting a decision here probably within a matter of weeks.
What's the classic line Newsom's attorney said, though, in reference to us, if I remember correctly? If they don't like what Newsom's doing,
Yes,
gotta-
that's right. That's right.
you got to say it for the crowd, dude, because I had to read your tweet twice. On
That's
that.
exactly right. So, we're of course arguing that our Constitution doesn't allow Newsom to become a dictator. And the lawyer for Newsom is like, well, no, there are some checks in place. It's okay. He doesn't have absolute power, because if the people don't like him being a dictator, they can always initiate a recall.
Out of his own attorney's mouth, non-prompted, right?
Yeah, unprompted. This was in his opening remarks.
So Newsom's own attorneys, Oren, just so you know, and Randy are suggesting a recall. May that be a matter of record, Your Honor. Randy,
Right, we've taken him up on it.
Randy, back to you.
I just, can we move on? A couple other really cool things that I've been working on?
Go, Rando.
Okay, good. Hey, so anyway, I want to let everybody know that in case you have not been paying attention to the news, we're a big deal. This campaign's a big deal all over the world now. And in the past, and I'm not kidding, in the last 36 hours, I have now done 79 interviews. I've gotten like zero sleep in like 2 days, and it's been an absolute blast. And again, it's and the first question everybody wants to know is, how the heck did you guys do it? And I just say the people, and never underestimate the people of California who are organized and take it upon themselves to do the heavy lifting, and magic like this happens. So it's been so much fun. It is such an honor to be a part of this group. And, again, let's just keep moving as hard as we can. And let's just keep making history every day, guys.
So good. I love that. And what I was saying a second ago is it's great. Everybody here is a hero, and Kevin, you are a hero. And it's great that everybody is just so humble, man. That's what I love, just seeing all these amazing people that are performing and executing and giving everything to the betterment of this state and our kids. And
I do have one fun story. So I'm sitting here yesterday and my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, here we go. So what did Gavin do now? And the first call I got was from Phil Willen from the Los Angeles Times. And he says, can I get your reaction to the fact that you have made history and you have got this recall done? You're way over the top now. And I started to cry. I literally was out words, and I choked up and I started to cry. And I had to gain my composure. I said, I'll call you right back. And the next phone call I made was to Oren. And I thought he was screaming. I never heard Oren Heatley scream so loud in my life. And it was a magical moment that I wished everybody could have captured. And then the fun started, and here we are 36 hours later.
So good.
And Randy, I have to say that, it has been an emotional roller coaster since the news came out.
Yeah.
And what brought me to the tears was Tim's pregame show. I am not one that's prone to emotion or anything like that, folks. But I'll tell you what, when you've worked and you've dedicated your life for the last year plus, year and a half, like Mike and I have been working on this, and it all comes to fruition. And then we give that opportunity to California. We're passing the torch here. This is the passing of the torch to the California people. You now have an opportunity to choose the successor for Gavin Newsom, the fair-haired heir to the throne. And I'll tell you what, he has always been known in his circle as the heir with the hair. And we're going to have Alexander the Great on our French Laundry show on Friday, and he's going to share a lot of his inside knowledge with Governor Newsom. But we all know that Gavin Newsom has been chosen for this position for his lineage and not his abilities. We all know that. So God bless. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to you, Cordy. And I don't have much more to say unless people have questions for me tonight.
Well, Susan's got a lot to say. I think we should let her talk.
Amen.
Absolutely. Hey, good point, Mike.
I don't have a whole lot to say. One thing I want to say before I forget, Jeff Rodan is doing the Recall Gavin movie. This is going to be absolutely awesome. He's looking for people to send him 1-minute selfies of their selves, showing the excitement that we reached the goal. And of course, he's also looking for donations. So you can email him if you want to share a short video at info@recallgavinmovie.com. He also has a GoFundMe page, and you can find everything about this movie in the GoFundMe at www.recallgavinmovie.com. Kevin, I just want to say I was ecstatic when you posted your timeline. I was on the phone with Robin, and we're going through all the election codes trying to figure this out. And there was a lot of information that was like, what does this mean? So is this extended by this date? Do we take it? It made no sense. But when you posted that, I was like, yes. And so I posted that through our groups. And eventually, somewhere down the line, we'll be able to pin it so that people will see it and they won't keep asking us questions about it. But that was awesome.
Very kind of you. I actually can't take credit for it. It's done by a group called California Target Book, and they're kind of like the gurus in this stuff. But that's their sort of best guess for how it's going to play out.
Okay.
Well, what kind of politician are you not taking credit for everything?
I know, right?
I think it was great, and what did you say earlier, that you were just something in this game or blah, 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 whatever.
Blah, blah, blah. That sounds like me.
Okay. I disagree. You went up and down the state doing your book signings and got the word out. Not only did you sell books and contribute part of your payment for the books to the recall, thank you. You were getting the word out about Newsom, and your book was telling people who Newsom really is. So, and we appreciated that. I helped set up all the volunteers for many of your signings. I was working with your assistant.
Thank you very much.
Don't remember his name.
Josh.
Josh, yes. Yes, but
Susan, maybe you and Tim could talk about the merchandise. And I know we had just come in like yesterday.
we have merchandise. I think some that just came. Did it come in today?
It came in yesterday or today. It just landed.
Okay.
We
Let me-
have yard signs. We have magnetic signs for cars, and we have bumper stickers. We
Mike,
just-
if you guys will send me the link, I'll start pushing it and getting some of my buddies to push it too.
we're
Which
just
one?
We have flags and car flags, like the flag that's behind Mike right now.
That's
We
fine.
have,
Beautiful
we
flag.
have
It's
a flag
tired.
like
It's
that.
been a long year.
Jesus.
The pin
So
top.
we have those, and then we have the smaller car flags that you can roll up in your window and take down when you get where you're going. We know that we don't want to make our people
Turn your camera
targets,
on.
So what's that?
Your
Turn
camera's
your
off.
camera on, Orin.
Sorry, folks. All right, here we go.
Trying to be Batman.
Oh Christ, Orin, turn your camera off.
Good Lord. You like it or not?
All right. Anyway, so we do have some merchandise that's coming. We're going to have access to that on our website, and we are getting ramped up. This is going to help us fund the fight to recall Gavin Newsom. So the money that comes in through this merchandise is going to go directly to advertising campaigns, informational campaigns, flyers, printing costs and stuff like that, getting the word out. And we need to spread the word that it's available and it's coming to a town near you soon.
And all this new merchandise, it has been updated with this newer graphics.
Yes,
Timbo, what'd you say?
Tim?
our new graphic is recall and replace. Recall and replace. In fact, I'll
Oh, nice.
Right, and so everybody knows that there, because I see a lot in the feed. We're working with groups like Election Integrity. The merchandise is simply a way for donations to keep our voice forward. We can't fight. We can't keep our voice going without funding. We can't win this election. We can't make people aware of election fraud. We can't fight unless we keep the voice of the people out there. And merchandise is simply one way to do it, folks. It's a way to put a banner up, a flag or something. We have to keep the message out. Before, we were having everybody go out and sign. Now that we've got the signatures, we're in the midst of an election season. If you want to get the attention of everybody in California about election integrity, about the issues which are really bugging you, there is going to be no better time to shine the light on California and much of the corruption which takes place than over the next 4 months. We need to keep it visible with our radio show, with merchandise, with the town hall. That's what this is all about. It's not just about the recall election. It's about keeping the passion of the people moving forward so we can move this state forward.
Amen. What I was going to say too, Mike, is it's kind of like there's a bunch of people, to your point, commenting on, what's the point in voting and it's rigged and this and that. And what I would say to you is, one, it's your patriotic constitutional duty to vote. First things first. Two, Randy and Oren and Mike and Kevin have done thousands of interviews. Kevin's book, there's so much attention on this. It's a different lens than what you were dealing with the national election. So what I want to do is just encourage you that there's going to be a different outcome. God's behind this. It's very clear. This is God orchestrated, right? This is a historic event. And I guarantee we're going to get a different outcome here. You need to vote. You need to go out. You need to feel confident in your system. You need to feel confident in people like Oren and Mike and Randy who are going to fight for you and continue to fight for you. And now we just got to get somebody new in there. And this is our opportunity. So don't be discouraged. Be encouraged by this process and the fact in 6 months, for the first time in a long time, California has said, hey, we want somebody that represents we the people values instead of corporate corrupt values.
Tim? What happened to Tim?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Timbo,
I want to call you out in a special way, brother. For all the graphics that you see each week, a lot of the stuff which goes on behind the scenes, Dan's sometimes afraid to show his face, but between Dan and Tim, they're two of the real heroes that make this happen every week. Again, I can't stress how important enough people like Kevin are, everybody, to keep the voice of the people going. I know I tend to go off on a rant sometimes, or if Randy didn't do the press like at 3 a.m. this morning, God bless you, Randy. If Susan didn't help keep things organized, all of us together can change the state. None of us apart will make this change. It's not just it will happen, it has to happen. And for everybody out there who plays every little part, whatever you do, telling a neighbor about it, displaying a flag, talking to somebody in the street corner, recallgavin2020.com. We've taken something and, you know, we get way off track here, but everybody take a deep breath. I've said this before. You know, the only reason this conversation matters about the special election, you know, the only reason we have to worry about distributing merchandise, keeping track of stuff, you know why, right, Cordy?
Well,
Because we friggin' did it. Got it? Because we have 1.6 million signatures. If I had told you 2 damn months ago that, oh, we didn't make it, we fell 100,000 short, none of this would matter. So for
Warren, give him
everybody
the
else,
blood
God
pressure
bless you.
medication. One of the veins is popping. When that happens, I get worried.
You should, but oh my God, I know.
Like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, Gavin, it's here. The Democrats, the side could do nothing. We have done it, people. So God bless us all on verification eve. We have friggin' done it. We did what everybody said was impossible, that could not be done because we're what? A bunch of political hicks. Well, what are you saying now? What are you saying now that the people have risen up?
How do you
Booyah.
like me now?
How do you like me now?
And we could not have done this without all of the boots on the ground
No.
volunteers. I mean,
High heels on the ground. High
what?
heels.
Also, you know, you guys not mentioning, we still need donations to get us to the vote. Recallgavin2020.com.
Yeah, the opposition war chest is wide open, and they have millions. They have unlimited resources.
We don't.
Unlimited. We have what you guys give. We have what the audience affords us. And we're doing this on a shoestring budget. We've done this on a shoestring budget. Susan,
Yes, we have.
right?
Yeah.
Cordy, we're all non-paid volunteers. And Mike goes, well, okay, non-paid volunteer. What's the difference between a paid volunteer or a non-paid? Okay, we are all unpaid. None of us draw an income off of this. We have 2 employees, and we are very good stewards of the donations that come in. This is the official recall team. We are the ones that brought this to the Secretary of State, that got the authorization to circulate the petition. We are the official, the original recallgavin2020.com. If you want to make a donation, we count on your donations, and we want your donation to count. So you need to make sure that you make your donation to recallgavin2020.com in order for it to go towards this effort. The town hall is free. The French Laundry radio show is not free. We pay about $1,000 an hour, just a little bit more. And it's a 2-hour show. We do it weekly. And it costs about $10,000 a month. But that's cheap. When you look at the coverage that we get in the area that we broadcast over, that segment, Friday nights at the French Laundry, is well worth the expense. We need your donations. We need you to reach out to the people that you know to help us continue that show and to carry it on, because the French Laundry must be cleaned and it has to carry on. So, and do we have any questions for Kevin Colley before we end?
No, he's dying to watch Biden's speech, so we should let him go.
Yeah. Let me just add to what Oren just said, by the way. This has been by far the most efficiently run signature campaign. I mean, anywhere. You look at your typical petition campaign, they pay paid signature gatherers and they pay a lot per signature. When you look at what was delivered, the number of signatures that were delivered, in this campaign, there's never been anything like it. And I wanted to add one other thing, which is, Orrin used the analogy of handing the torch, which I think is a really good image. And I think it also underscores the important role that everyone on this call will continue to play. Those of you who actually made this happen. I mean, you've been out in front of Walmarts, in front of Hobby Lobbies, all across the state, talking to people, hundreds of people, on any given day. You have your finger on the pulse of where the state is at. And so I think that you are sort of the best spokespeople for this entire movement going forward to get it across the finish line. So I think that your role is going to continue to be really important in these next few months.
I love that. Well, the only thing I was going to say, just to add on to a lot of the questions and comments that people are saying is, guys, there are numerous lawsuits about election transparency and integrity and all that in California right now. So, you have to think about this from, in the Marine Corps, we have something called interlocking fields of fire, which is you can't use one approach to attack a problem. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now in California, and it's happening across the nation too. So just kind of rest in your faith a little bit that some of that is being taken care of, and do what you can do and look at what you've done up to this point. And so I just want to say that just to encourage you guys out there. Some of you got some positive stuff out here. Some of you got some as my son would say, poo-poo diaper stuff on here. And I just want to encourage you that there's a lot of positive things happening. Go ahead, Mike.
Let me jump in real quick. For those of you, we'll talk about it again Friday night because we're almost out of time tonight. There was already a lawsuit with Eric Early, 10 other people, an election integrity project that we are definitely talking about that is in federal court now, not federal court in the future, federal court about election integrity in California. It is about the Dominion machines. It's about mail-in balloting. And everybody out there will talk about it more Friday night. We've been, but the scoreboard is, as I like to say, there's a lot of misleading information out there. Some of it put out by a guy named DeMaio that we're going to do something about it. The reality is there is being something done about it with Election Integrity Project, Eric Early, Mark Carlisle, and a bunch of candidates or former candidates who have filed already with a lawsuit waiting to be heard in federal court now. And we'll probably have Linda Payne back on our show again from an Election Integrity Project on Friday nights. So everybody out there, keep the faith. Our part, to Corey's point, in the mission is to make sure that it gets on the ballot. We're very aware that something needs to be done about elections, but our job, our mission is to take the beach, and we've done it. The air cover is coming through lawsuits like Kevin's doing and lawsuits like it's being done with Election Integrity Project in federal court.
Netters, did you just call me Corey? Is that to get me back because I call you Netters?
Yes.
Oh, darn it. Jeez.
Corey
Okay.
Netters.
Anybody else? Anybody else want to answer? I don't really see any direct questions. If I missed it, you guys comb over, and sometimes you guys find the.
I want to hear from Robin, Susan, or Randy if they have any more to add right now.
We won't hear from Robin because she's not on the call.
Well, Robin, where are you?
Robin
I didn't know. I didn't know if I was just in the gallery view. I didn't see Robin. either.
Susan first is if Susan has anything more to add, and then Randy.
So as of April 19th, the number of signatures that were received by all of the registrar voters offices was
2 million.
2,162,000.
Woo!
They've only had a chance to verify 2,026,000. Tomorrow is the absolute deadline. Hopefully we'll have new numbers. We made it.
Wow.
We're going to a special election. There's 30 days, probably 28 days left for people to withdraw their signatures. I don't think that they're going to get a significant amount of numbers. So we are going in November.
Hey, Susan.
May produce a new number.
Hey, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
I think the helmsman on the Titanic saw the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
I don't even know what a helmsman is. So.
Watch the movie.
I think that
That's 'cause you
the
weren't in the
the guy
Navy.
with the steering wheel, he was like, "Oh shit, there's an iceberg ahead."
Hey,
did I
we're
say
talking
shit?
about
I'm sorry, folks.
icebergs, Randy? Can you put your patch on real quick?
Yeah, I will right now.
Iceberg dead ahead.
All right, lady.
No time to stop.
So I'm just
You're
saying
entertained by
that and just like with the Gray Davis recall, the people who signed the petitions were just the tip of the iceberg. And there's a lot more groundswell coming, and they know that. And this is why Gavin Newsom is painting us as white supremacists, as anti-immigrant, as anti-Semite. And I'll tell you what,
Anti-LGBT.
and homophobe.
Homophobe.
Sorry, but I'll tell you what, Gavin Newsom, my great grandmother escaped Hungary to avoid the death camps. Her family was scattered throughout the globe. Her brothers are in Spain, Italy, California, and that's how I got where I am. I'm very proud of my Jewish heritage. She came to California and denounced her Jewish religion because she was deathly afraid of what would happen to her if she was found out. And there's nobody, not the governor of California or anybody else, that's going to call me out as an anti-Semite and get away with it. So Governor Newsom, withdraw that statement, apologize for what you've said about me and my family right now, period.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Well, guys,
I don't hear him.
Yeah, I don't hear him either. It's because
I'd like to invite him onto the show anytime. Come on.
Anytime. And by the
Let's
way,
debate.
for everybody
Is
else,
that Dan Cioni I hear?
it is Dan, the man behind the curtain. And for everybody
Dan,
out there,
Lord.
I just
A
posted
I'm just
rare
lurking.
appearance.
call in.
Stalker.
If you can't see this, if you can't see this on chat, any other questions? We're not going to get to them all tonight about election integrity. 7 to 9, me, Randy, and Orrin. Jeff's going to be in studio with the film. 1-800.
We also have a one of the video.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a videographer editor from the Washington Post coming to the
Absolutely.
French Laundry on Friday night to do a 12-minute mini movie on us, and so it should be kind of fun. So I'm going to be in studio, and Orrin, you coming down?
I'm coming down. I will be in studio
Wow.
with you.
He has
and
to. He has my
Mike.
jacket. It's a long story.
I do. And I'll tell you what. So folks, you can listen to Friday Nights at the French Laundry at kabc.com.
And where do they call Orrin with their questions? What I was trying to get to before we left.
1-800.
222 5.
222.
That's where Colin Friday night will answer
Do it
your
again.
questions on the air. 1-800
222.
5222. All right. Thank
like
you,
a
everybody.
car
Good night.
salesman.
We made it. Rejoice in the moment on Verification Eve. Thank you, everybody.
God bless
Kevin,
you guys.
thank you
See you
so
next
much
week.
for joining us. Kevin, Kylie, God bless you, my friend. And you have
Fighting
a
for
bright future ahead of
America.
you.
Thank
Randy,
you, Kev.
you got
God
to move
bless.
your packs, brother. You got to move your packs.
Yes.
Love you, Rando. Love you, Susan. Love you, Mikey, also known as Netters. Love you, Dan.
Thanks,
Bye.
Corey.
Bless you guys. Love you, Timbo.
Good night, John Boy.
Signing out.
Guys later. God
3:30.
bless you
Y'all
guys.
have a good night.
Thanks for showing up.
Good night now.
Bye, guys.
Rock and roll.